We're on the record at 11:49 a.m. This is the videotape deposition of Latoshia Boxley, taken in the matter of Sandy Johnson et al. Plaintiffs versus Billy Blackburn et al. Defendants in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas, Waco Division, case number C:10-CV-186, held in the offices of MWA Court Reporting, 222 2nd Avenue North, Suite 360M, Nashville, Tennessee, on August 9th, 2011 at the time indicated on the video screen. The court reporter is Stacy England from the firm of MWA Court Reporters. My name is Steve Campbell from the firm of VCE Incorporated. Will counsel please introduce themselves?
Ms. Boxley, could you state your full name for the record?
Latoshia and Boxley.
Ms. Boxley, what's your hometown in Texas?
I'm sorry, Mr. Clevenger?
Yes.
We're not ready for that yet. If you would just state your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. My
real quick,
apologies.
and then I will swear in the witness.
Yes, this is Ty Clevenger. I represent the plaintiffs.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and swear in the witness. Ma'am, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, you can go ahead.
Ms. Boxley, could you state your full name for the record, please?
Latoshia and Boxley.
And what's your hometown in Texas?
Hearne, Texas.
Were you born there?
Yes.
Okay, so how long did you live in Hearne approximately?
I lived in Hearne over 20-something years. I was born there in 1982. I moved from Hearne in 2006 to go to Oklahoma, which is Fort Sill. And then I basically went to Germany in 2007, and I came back to Hearne in 2007, and I just recently left to go to Fort Campbell in Clarksville. So in between those times, I was back and forth. So there's never really like an exact amount of time, but over 20-something years.
Okay. And do you know TREA Thompson?
Yes.
How do you know Mr. Thompson?
I know him from growing up in Hearne. We went to the same schools. My family and his family say we're related, but that's never really just been proven if we are, if we're not, but I do know him, yes.
Did you know Hank Johnson?
No.
Did TREA Thompson ever say anything to you about Hank Johnson?
He didn't really specifically say Hank Johnson's name, but after the murder of my relative, which was Chandel Lewis, I was sitting outside at my sister's salon one day, and I was sitting on a bench under a tree, and TREA Thompson came over crying to me about Chandel's murder. And he was basically saying that he was going to harm Fredel Miles, which he referred to as Twan. He kept saying what he was going to do to Twan because he knew that Twan had something to do with Chandel's murder because he helped him beat the man at the motel. He stated that they did not kill him. Another man came in, and basically he was just crying, and that's all, he said to me, just out of either just pain that he was showing me relating to Chandel, but he basically stated that Fredel was with him when they beat the man at the motel, but they did not kill him. Someone else came in and killed him.
Did he say anything to indicate to you, other than the fact that he was at the motel, who this was that he was talking about?
No, he just said the man at the motel.
Are you aware of anyone else? Let me ask you this. Approximately when did he say this to you?
I don't have the exact date or time. I just know that it was after Hank Johnson's murder and right after Chandel's. And I know that Chandel's was October 25th, 2008. So it was not even a month or two after Chandel's murder. I just don't remember the exact time or date.
So would you say it was in the latter part of 2008?
I would say in between that time and the time I actually approached you.
Okay. And when would that have been?
I know I approached you in 2009, early 2009. So I would say in between the late 2008, after October, between the time I met you. So I would say it had to have been late 2008.
And let me ask you something about, you said Fredel Miles was known as Twan. Is that his nickname?
Yes.
And how many hotels, motels are there in Hearne approximately?
That I would know of,
Right.
at that time, I would say it was about 4.
And are you aware of anybody else who had been, any other man who had been killed or beat up in a motel at that time?
No.
So to your knowledge, the only person who was killed in a motel room during that time would have been Hank Johnson? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Off the record, 11:54 a.m.